Hey there, my name is Bryce. I'm one of the co-founders at Afterflow, and I wanted to make this quick video on campaign strategy because it's one of the most important parts of retention marketing, and it's also a place I know can be easy to fall off track and get overwhelmed. So hopefully you can take away a few valuable frameworks and insights that you can apply to your own brand and see improved performance. So what are campaigns? Why are they important? Basically, campaigns are the one-off sends that we're going to be firing out to the email list, ideally 3 to 5 times per week. This is different from flows, which are automated emails based on some sort of behavior somebody takes on your site. So with campaigns, we're trying to do 3 different things. We're trying to build awareness and keep your brand top of mind. We're trying to build that relationship with the customer with consistently valuable content. And we're also trying to drive sales. So in the campaigns themselves, and also especially important in the high ticket space, is driving people into those automated flows and seeing increased conversions from there as well. So the most effective campaigns, what do they have in common? These are kind of the 3 things that we've noticed with top brands and what we've had success with as well. So number 1 is putting that relationship before the conversion always. So just keeping a long-term mindset is always going to outperform the temptation of short-term spikes, which usually are going to backfire in some way, shape, or form. Next is having one clear objective. So keeping campaigns very focused always gives the reader a feeling like they got something valuable, even if it was super simple. And the last one is leading with value. So making sure emails are worth opening and always trying to give more than you take. So one analogy we like to think about is a bank account where we want to stack away money with the amount of value we're providing. And then when we make that ask or push for sales and promotions, people are much more receptive and much more engaged. So most common mistakes. These are kind of just the opposite of the patterns that we see. But basically, the biggest one is always going to be sending repetitive and promotional content. This just leads to the audience tuning out and a lack of engagement. Number 2 is multiple ideas packed into one send. So in our experience, this just leads to confusion, a little bit of kind of paralysis, not knowing what exactly they should do next. So that always hurts engagement. And then number 3 is treating campaigns as one-offs. So technically they are one-off sends, but ideally they're part of a bigger strategy where you can kind of fit the puzzle pieces together and have a good balance of relationship building and also generating sales. Just to kind of show what this looks like when it's working well. So these are our numbers from month 2 with Shop Solar. And their big issue was kind of that repetitive promotional content. So just adding some more value sends and a bigger mix to their campaigns, we were able to pretty much increase every metric across the board and just see continued success from there. So speaking of metrics, these are kind of the areas that you want to shoot for. So with open rates, we want to stay above 50%. If it's anything lower, it's likely one of 3 issues. So might be an issue with subject lines, could be just sending to too big of a list size. So just tightening that up a little bit. And the last one, it could be a deliverability issue. So ideally, you just kind of tighten up the list. And then as you see open rates jump, you can kind of slowly increase from there. And then click rates, this is a good baseline for how relevant the emails that are being sent are and how much the audience finds them worthwhile. So trying to stay above 1% is the goal. It can definitely vary from brand to brand what's most effective, but 1% is a good benchmark. And then campaign attributed revenue, ideally this is 40 to 60% of the total revenue. And if it's anything lower, it's probably a little bit of juice left on the table for you to take advantage of. And then unsubscribes under 0.3% and spam complaints ideally under 0.01%. From there, this is usually the biggest challenge for brands when it comes to campaigns is just how do you consistently pump out new ideas that get people excited. The best resources we have found for finding new ideas is one is using mill.com. This is a site where you can pretty much search up any brand and see what they've been sending out. It's always a great place to draw inspiration that you can kind of use for your own brand. And then number 2 is really good emails. Very similar website, but it's got different categories. So it's a little bit more specific if you're looking for something in particular. And then the next 2, I'm sure as you know, check out the past campaigns if you have them. And lastly, ChatGPT, always a great place if you can kind of prompt it a little bit and get some new ideas. And then for keeping track of all this, we like to use Figma, Slack, and Google Sheets just to keep it simple. So this is kind of a picture of what it would look like inside Figma, where you can see all the upcoming campaigns and people are able to comment or recommend different ideas if they see something that they'd like to do. And then we also use Slack just because it's a little bit easier for some people to kind of see it in there. And Google Sheets is just where we track analytics. So we'll send weekly kind of updates on those key metrics. That is all I got for today. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you would like help with your retention marketing, we do offer free consultation calls to qualified brands. So you can find more about that in the description. Thanks for watching.